Welcome, seekers of truth and lovers of layered stories, to a turning point in how we witness the inner lives of our brightest names. Welcome to your home of deep analysis and rare access, Whispers of Turkish Stars. In the bright yet thunderous galaxy of Turkish showbiz, there are silences that make more noise than 1,000 interviews, and the hush surrounding Afra Sarıkoglu and Mert Demir has become the loudest sound of all. We've grown used to Afra's glow brightening every room and Mert's subtle steadiness anchoring the frame, their chemistry on and off the screen making headlines with effortless rhythm. And yet, almost overnight, both retreated into a kind of disciplined absence, as if they chose to close every window to the world and darken the room so that only their own breathing could be heard. The void on their feeds, their absence from events where their presence once felt inevitable, built a whirlpool of questions. Was this a fracture in love or a deliberate reset? Had fame finally asked for a price they refused to pay? Before we uncover the late-night call that paused the clock and the project poised to reshape everything, a heartfelt invitation: if you value artistic reflection and respectful storytelling, subscribe to Whispers of Turkish Stars. Tap the bell so that every meaningful pulse of celebrity life arrives with nuance. And if you want to be a cornerstone of this mission, with access to exclusive revelations and carefully sourced insights, press join now. Your support helps us trace these journeys with the seriousness they deserve. Now, quiet the mind and lean in, because we are about to map Afra and Mert's new dawn. This wasn't a stumble into obscurity, it was a chosen discipline, a spiritual quarantine. After years under the relentless lens, explaining and correcting narratives crafted by others, the couple decided that serenity would no longer be currency on the market. Phones went dark. Invitations, too easy to accept, were met with pauses. Communication narrowed to family, 2 or 3 time-tested friends, and a protective stillness between the two of them. On studio lots and in agency hallways, whispers grew. A pullback from ads, a firm no to interviews, a schedule cleared like a rain-washed street. Yet beneath the rumors, they weren't disappearing, they were arriving at themselves. While the chatter asked where they had gone, they were right there, in private, reintroducing themselves to each other without a single camera as witness. They waited, not for noise, but for a signal, something strong enough to break the trance of routine and guide them forward. And then, in the middle of a quiet night when the air felt almost ceremonial, the unthinkable happened. Sources close to the couple tell Whispers of Turkish Stars that a phone call cut through the stillness. It wasn't a publicist chasing a brand deal, nor a manager sealing a contract. The voice came from the past, but what it carried belonged to the future. The conversation stretched past an hour, a long inhale and exhale of honesty that crossed memories, regrets, and possibility. When the call ended, Afra stayed still for a moment, eyes bright, not with grief, but with the relief of release. Mert, always the calm in the storm, held the space around her like a lighthouse. And then came the sentence that, according to those present, will be repeated in close circles for a long time: life can strip you down until you think there's nothing left, and then one message rebuilds you from the inside out. Not a confession, not a show. A foundation stone laid in silence. Who was on the line, and what truths were spoken? The mystery only fuels the legend. But the ripples are already visible. Let's pause this unfolding tale to ask you, our Whispers of Turkish Stars family, do you believe retreat is necessary for rebirth? Has one unexpected voice or a single piece of news ever rearranged your life in an instant? Share your reflections below, we read everything, and your stories give life to ours. If this perspective resonates, click like. To support our independent, careful work and unlock members-only insights, press join. Your membership keeps our journalism intact and brave. Now, the revelation taking shape behind closed doors, the secret Afra and Mert have been guarding, according to the most consistent industry murmurs, is a major international collaboration that refuses easy labels. This isn't a light romance or a safe retread. It's a multi-layered narrative orbiting a woman navigating the darker echoes of her past and a man forced to face his own silences, roles that insist on depth over charm, grit over gloss. It asks Afra to dismantle the familiar image of the delicate heart seeking affection and invites her into the steel of a character seeking her own reckoning. It asks Mert to let still waters show their hidden storms. And the leap doesn't end on set. This project is said to uproot them beyond Turkey, demanding a reinvention not just of craft, but of daily life: new cities, new rhythms, different languages, fewer buffers. A risk? Absolutely. But calculated not for trend or quick numbers. This is not pandering, this is hunger for growth, for truth, for art that keeps them up at night in the best way. One of the pillars of this transformation is the shift in how they speak about their own agency. Those who know their inner circle whisper about a conversation that cut to the bone. Afra, clear and unshaking, told a friend, "I've gotten used to carrying outcomes I didn't choose. I'm done with that. From now on, I pick the road and I live the results." Mert, with that understated conviction that has become his signature, added, "I used to wait to be told that the time was right. Now the only green light I need is my own." In a city addicted to speculation, that kind of calm self-definition lands like thunder. For years, the narrative around them was edited by headlines, contract clauses, and other people's timelines. They kept reacting. Now the reaction has ended. They no longer justify, they no longer defend, they decide. In that steadiness is a power that doesn't need to raise its voice. Family, as always, anchored the process. After the call and the outline of the new project, Afra visited her mother for a long, tender conversation that loosened knots none of us could see. In that room, where love has no audience and tears aren't for show, Afra let the burden slide off her shoulders. "Mom, I don't need to try to be strong anymore," she said softly, "because I finally know that I am." It's a sentence that ends a fight we fight with ourselves, the kind you can't win until you decide to put the sword down. That moment has been described as a balm, quiet joy, measured relief, a reconciliation with days gone by. It wasn't fireworks, it was a sunrise seen from a window you've ignored for years. And then, after weeks of disciplined silence, came the post. No caption essays, no cinematic reveal. Just a single image, almost bare, paired with one word, beginning. At Whispers of Turkish Stars, we read that not as content but as declaration. Within minutes, the reactions multiplied, but the discerning among their fans understood it wasn't just about a calendar page or a new job. It was the introduction of a new way of being. A version of Afra who chooses grace over impulse. A version of Mert who speaks by doing. Both learning that silence, chosen wisely, says more than noise ever could. The clarity was unmistakable, fewer explanations, firmer boundaries, a return to the center. Before we draw our threads together, thank you for making Whispers of Turkish Stars your refuge for celebrity stories told with empathy and rigor. If you're not yet part of our members-only circle, you're missing the details we reserve for those who stand beside us. Click join to help us stay independent, to keep traveling, checking facts, and bringing you what others won't touch. Your membership keeps the lights on and our standards high. And so we close this chapter of Afra and Mert's renewal with one unshakable truth. We're not merely watching performers who inhabit roles, we are watching two people who have decided to author their own plot. The past is no longer a maze, it's a map. The lines ahead are bolder, cleaner, and for them alone to walk. They don't move to gather applause anymore, they move to hear the honest echo of their own footsteps. As 2026 unfolds, the international path before them will test this philosophy in real time, and here at Whispers of Turkish Stars, we'll be right beside you, tracing every beat with care and seriousness. If this story nudged you to consider your own choices, tap like, share it with the ones who know the difference between noise and music, and subscribe for the next reveal. And once more, consider pressing join. Your support is the quiet engine that lets Whispers of Turkish Stars keep doing this work the way it should be done, patiently, ethically, and with a heart tuned to the artist's humanity. What comes next won't be simple. Stories worth telling rarely are. But if you look closely, you'll see it, the quiet courage in Afra's gaze, the protective calm in Mert's presence, the pact between them to move forward without selling the parts of themselves that money can't buy. The legends will keep swirling, as legends do. Yet beneath the myth, two people have chosen intention over spectacle, risk over repetition, and a future that insists on truth, no matter the cost. Beginning, they wrote, and for once, it was not a teaser. It was a promise.